105.4, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesianicristo.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you viewers who are tuned in with us. Welcome to INCRadio Florida. We are delighted to have you. It is so fitting today. Our weather here in the Florida area is quite chilly compared to what we're used to in the sunshiny state. So it's so appropriate because our topic today, we're going to be talking about all things wrapped because not only our food is wrapped, but we ourselves, for Floridians, we're a bit wrapped here. So we're going to talk about all of our favorite foods that are wrapped in, well, pretty much anything. When it comes to sushi burritos, Tocino Veggie Wraps, right? When it comes to turkey taco wraps, who doesn't like a good taco? Buffalo chicken crunch wraps. If you can roll it, if you can wrap it, on today's episode, we're going to share what some of these favorite things are. I'm delighted to also introduce to you today one of our favorite hosts. Up in the Panhandle, we have Sister Cherise joining us today. Let us know, how's the weather over there? If it's kind of chilly down here in the Central Florida area, let us know, how's it going up there, Sister Cherise?
Good morning, everyone. Sister Cherise here in Pensacola. I am wearing a sweater because it has been chilly for the past 4 days in the mornings. I think it's been in the 40s, which has just been, I love it because I always love, what's my favorite term? Sweater weather. I love a good sweater. So I'm so happy that it is a little bit chilly. But in the afternoons, of course, it's nice, bright and sunny, and then a little bit cool. But I do not like blazing hot heat. I come from up north where we had boots and sweaters and wool coats. So I really love a good fall morning with a nice cup of coffee. But I don't know. I feel like I don't think I'm the only one who might feel that way. And I feel like we have a special guest that I'd like to ask, someone who's returning on this Saturday morning. Brother Jim, how do you feel about the weather?
Brother Jim!
I gotta tell you, and thank you. Thanks for having me on. But the weather, I kind of like the cold, but I gotta be honest, I walked out to do some stuff in the garden, and I walked back in. I don't think, while I grew up in the great north there, I certainly have acclimated to the warmness of Florida. So I was like, I'm going to let the sun come up for a while and warm things up before I get started. But,
yeah. What is your weather up there, guys?
well, I think it got down into the 40s last night.
Wow.
Yeah, into the 40s. It definitely was it was very pretty chilly last night. So I think where me and, because, Pensacola is huge.
Yeah.
But where me and Brother Jim were relatively close to each other. And it was, 40s for us for sure.
40s, that is really cold.
Well,
for us.
It's been really nice. And I've got this papaya plant, which for us in Florida, a lot of people can grow papaya in Florida, but here in the Panhandle, it's a little tricky because we usually get a frost, and so we get green papayas, right? There's no chance of them getting ripe. But I've got 6. We've named them so because we're hoping we're hoping that we're going to get to eat them because this will be the first year that we had like fairly decent sized papaya. They're about half the size you see in the store, but it's loaded. And so every morning that we don't get a frost, which now we're kind of like almost a month
right there,
when we typically have our first frost, is just a bonus for Mr. Papaya and the kids.
So since we're on the topic of wraps, I have a question. Are you wrapping the papaya tree in a blanket?
I was going to say, is he going to use the papaya like in a recipe for a wrap? But I like where you're going, Sister Joy.
Hey.
I tell you what, there actually is. My wife's been making this. She shreds the green papaya and then makes this super spicy hot sauce and puts carrots and a bunch of other stuff. But then she'll wrap it in leaves, and it's delicious. As a matter of fact, but if there's a recipe for it, I think it's I want to say it's like Vietnamese or something, but
is it atara? Is it that pickled, shredded?
Right. I don't
Oh,
know. Yeah, I'm not sure what it's called. So.
No, but I
oh,
think I know what he's talking about. If it's a spicy one, I think it is a
Yeah,
Thai. I think it's a Thai, which is
it
delicious.
oh,
So tell her to
that's
make
right.
me
You're
some.
right. It is Thai, and it is so good, and it's like super healthy. Like that's how she sneaks stuff into me. You know, like
that sounds
Like a
delicious. You
grown
got to send it
child. I'm
down
gonna
south
sneak
here.
veggies.
Love it. Oh
There
my
you go.
goodness. Guys, we have a couple of visuals to share. So let's, when it comes to the wraps here, so bear with me here as I play tech. And we're going to talk about some of the things that you can wrap, right? So we talked about papaya. We're going to wrap the papaya tree, right? Wrap it in a blanket with this weather, in our sweater weather here. Um, I'm not sure if y'all can see my screen. Oh, yeah, you can. Look at this. This actually is surprisingly. So we have Gimbop, right? Which I believe is it's like another form. I don't want to offend those who do eat gimbap, but it's kind of like a sushi, but it's not a sushi. I'm not saying that it's a sushi for those of you who, um, but it does use the same thing, right? It wraps using that seaweed wrap. This was actually sent to us from, many of you might have remembered, Sister Aika. Sister Aika shared with this, and you will not believe that they serve gimbap and lettuce wrap for this bulgogi. They serve this on the airplane.
oh, that.
Yes, airplane food, right? That's like
I
good
keep trying to
airplane
get
food.
cheated with airplane food
I
in
know.
the United States when you travel, but that's fantastic. I'm sure it was probably like what Korean Airlines or something.
Yes, exactly. There you go. There you go. I mean, that is something that beats the peanuts, right? Like, can I
Yes,
have a lettuce
yes.
wrap? Yeah. So, but look at that. Have you guys ever tried that? The
Which
gimbap?
one is it?
The gimbap?
The kimbap? Yes, I have. I've actually made my attempts in rolling
Mhm.
some. Whether or not they were good, I don't know. I've rolled it for myself. I've rolled it for friends. But it's you can, from what I understand and from what I've done and the recipes I've seen online, you can literally put
Yeah.
anything in it. Like I've done like the spam version, the bulgogi. I think in this picture I see it looks like they have like the yellow pickled Korean radish, which is very good. But
Mm.
it's really not that hard. Whatever you want to eat, you literally just roll it in this wrap here, and you can just, it's like so clean and easy, like on the
Love it.
go picnic or whatever, car trips. It's easy.
Don't you think anything? There's like these two new categories that we didn't
Mhm.
have when I was little, right? You have wrapped and you have like on a stick, and both of them are like
Yes.
they make anything taste better somehow.
Mhm.
You got the dip, and so regardless of what the food is, you can and starting to use more Asian cooking stuff. I love anything where you take the seaweed wrap
Oh,
and
yes.
put that. It's so good.
It adds that flavor to it. Ooh, so good. What else do we have here? Oh, okay, this is a test for all y'all. I want to know, how do you pronounce this word?
What do you say, Brother Jim?
Well, I always pronounce it softly because I don't think I know how to say it.
Because I was corrected on how to pronounce this. And so moving forward, ever since I was corrected so lovingly about
It's like okay, I mean, I will
it's
try.
okay. There's
It's
no
like
judgment
it's
here.
like
Go
I
ahead.
know.
you say like hero, right? You
Yeah, it
don't.
is. It's
Yeah,
Yes.
hero.
yeah,
It
but
is
You for
hero.
hero?
yeah, hero, and
There's an
it's
H?
Yes.
yeah,
It's
and
weird.
I
like
was told you, like you,
Is it you?
euro.
well, the thing is,
Oh.
and what I love about Mediterranean culture, it's really diverse. And
Mhm.
where I grew up, we had a lot of there was a large Serbian community, and I've always got a kick out of the fact, going from in the Serbian community, they're going to have a lot of Mediterranean. One
Mhm.
of the best Greek festivals I ever went to was in Dayton, Ohio, believe it or not.
I know.
Great, yeah, they have a huge Serbian community, but Serbia is like in the Balkan, so they have a different dialect, right? And they have obviously a different language. So they always said hero, and that's kind of like they said, and I don't know this, I didn't, but like hero subs, like sub, you hear hero sub, but it kind of originated like with that saying hero, but yeah, I've heard it pronounced differently, and I'm sure if you go like in Nashville, you had a much larger Kurdish community, and of course they would mostly eat shawarma, but they would pronounce heroes differently, right?
Yeah.
It a little differently. So hey,
It's funny because when you say Nashville, I'm thinking they're all going to say gyro because I'm thinking
I think I used to pronounce it as gyro too. I would be like, "Can I have a gyro sandwich?" No, but it is euro. I just asked. I said, "YouTube, how do you pronounce it?" And yes, it is euro. It's euro.
Euro.
Yes, I had a Greek employee that told me so lovingly, as just enjoy the sandwich or the wrap.
Yeah.
And no, it's euro. And I will never forget because it was like this euro. Yes.
Ooh,
Got it. Euro.
I like that. So I pronounced it wrong the first half of my life. The second half, I was like, it's hero, guys. It really is hero. So I've only been corrected. So at least now I know. This is a perfect topic because now I know how to properly order.
There you go. Not only do you learn about all of our favorite wrapped foods, you learn how to pronounce them too. Oh, and you know what I must point out? If you guys closely notice where the euro is, you see someone in the background right there eating some food. I'm just going to shout out to my loving husband. Has him you can see him digging into the food. That one's for you, my love. Yeah, so euro is definitely on the top of the list, right? Euro, hero. Maybe it just depends, right, on the region. So it could be pronounced with an H, hero, Brother Jim, like as you were mentioning.
Oh, okay.
For Greek, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. And, everything that kind of has this, people lay claim to Greek, food, but they could be from anywhere, and it's like then the taste can be different too. Like I said, the euros, I guess, and around Nashville, taste were different. They were a little bit different depending on where you were going.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, and then how can you forget the famous sushi rolls right there, right? And with sushi, just sushi alone, like you said, Sister Charisse, I mean, you could put anything in there. I mean, you could put veggies in there. You could put any choice of protein in there. And then you top the wrap. I mean, how yummy is that?
No. We have my daughter loves sushi. Well, actually my two daughters. My son could really care less. He's not a big sushi fanatic like my two daughters are. But we have this one all you can eat restaurant. I don't know if you've been there, Brother Jim. There's a all you can eat sushi restaurant. Well, we have a couple, but they wouldn't when I'm like, what do you girls want to eat? That is automatic. Can we go eat sushi? That's what we want is sushi. They love to try all of the different types too. Even the spicy one, like, ooh, mommy, it's hot. But they're still eating it because they like it. So I guess they take after me, which is nice.
Yeah. I highly recommend discovering sushi like at an all you can eat buffet. I mean, if it's really good. I mean, because I've had some sushi on buffets where it's like, I could probably make that. And I have no idea.
Yeah, where it's like a whole bunch of rice, but a little bit of filling.
Right. Yeah. They're like filling you up. Going to bed with that. But I was in Dallas and I just discovered sushi and there was a great place and it was all you could eat. So it was kind of like I expanded my horizon from like California rolls, which are, I mean, they're like the base pretty much, to, trying a lot of spicy stuff. Like I love it. I love the eel, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, anything with the eel is fantastic.
Oh, that's great. Oh, there too, you can kind of see it. There are some dumplings. That's a wrapped food right there.
I see the dumplings now.
Yeah, it's kind of hidden among. I mean, the one who took this photo is like the girl, like your girls.
I I just
They love
focused on the
sushi,
sushi. Yeah.
right?
Sushi
Right.
is really good though. But like
My
you said, you could put anything. I was gonna ask for their gym since he was in Dallas. I was gonna say, did they have like a cowboy sushi roll? I've seen
Yes,
that where it's like
they did. They did. Yeah, they had the cowboy sushi roll. And it was like barbecue, right? I think
oh,
it's
that is
hilarious.
so
But
funny.
I love that. Like you said,
Mhm.
you can put anything on it. A lot of restaurants, they have a. I've gone to places here where they'll have like a Pensacola roll, and they'll make it.
Yes.
Oh, that is so. What I have to know, what do they put in a Pensacola roll?
Well, because we've got a lot of blue crabs, so it's usually like the
Ah,
fried blue crabs and grits. No,
okay.
grits.
Oh, I love that's another show. We can talk about grits all day. That's actually one of my favorite jams, but we'll stay true to to all things rap. But oh my goodness, yes, that's true. You
Mhm.
can put it. Look at that Pensacola. So every time I see blue crab, I'm gonna think Pensacola. That's a Pensacola
Yeah,
wrap.
and those soft.
It's any type of seafood. Like I think there's even a they call it 850 roll, and it's like has crawfish in it or something like that.
Yeah,
Ooh.
right,
Hmm.
yeah, and those are just. I don't know, just that combination. I always think of sushi as the perfect bite,
It
right?
is.
It's like because
Yes.
everything is mixed in. There's even sauce, and it's like
Hmm.
every little bite is like the perfect bite. That's what I.
What is it? It's like a umami, like a burst of like. There's like so
Yeah,
many different layers.
yeah.
Yep.
You know,
Hmm.
I have to say that is actually one of my go-tos, and it's nothing fancy. Like sometimes, if I'm trying to whip up something quick to eat for the kids, I'll take canned tuna, y'all. I'll take canned tuna
Yes.
and I don't even flavor the rice. I'll just put what is that? That Japanese seasoning, the
Oh, yeah,
furikake.
Yeah,
that's
the
And
furikake.
that's it. And then a piece of seaweed, and I'll tell the kids, and they'll just put on mayo. They'll put that hot sauce, and kind of hot sauce on there, and then they just wrap it up, and it's really like it's kind of like our pantry staple because we always have a little bit of seaweed, and we have canned tuna.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you can dress it up with anything you want. You can put, like what you said, fresh vegetables. I mean, it's really simple and it's really
that
easy.
is that is the greatest gift of cooking and trying new things. Because, like you said, that little Japanese and it's a seasoning, and I
Yeah.
think it's like rice seasoning. I think it's even called.
Exact and it's
Yes.
actually basic seasoning. It's like sesame seeds, it has more seaweed in it,
Mhm.
sugar, I think salt in there, and that's basically what it is, but
Yeah,
it's just like
but
kindly
you can drop it on anything if it's a
Mhm.
little bland, and it's just you can
Mhm.
really experiment. You kind of get introduced to different flavors like that.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And dumplings too. I mean, dumplings are also pretty diverse because I mean, you mentioned barbecue. I've seen dumplings can have different names. I know in Filipino, like my kids love siopao,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
yeah,
It's wrapped. Yep.
right.
Exactly. It's kind of like a form of a dumpling, right?
Mhm.
It's not steamed, but well, you can actually steam it, but it's a
Mhm.
little bit more thicker, right? When it comes to like the wrapping. But I have two kids, two of my three that just love siopao. And it
Oh,
could be it could be barbecue chicken in there, it could be pork in there, it could be beef in there. Good stuff.
Have you ever made shopao?
Oh, no, I'm not
I feel
interested.
like I feel like it's like
I've
a
eaten. I
oh
feel like a
no, right?
siopao.
But it's like it just hit me when you said shopao. I was like, I don't know how to make it. So like we need to start learning so that we could pass it down because we don't want it to like not be able to have
You know
shopao
what?
anymore.
That's a good question. Anyone in our chat, anyone
Does anyone know
can
how to
make,
make it?
I mean, we can eat it. We are pros at eating siopao. I look like a siopao. Okay. I feel like a siopao sometimes. But yeah,
Oh.
I want to know yeah, if y'all can make it. Yeah, we're gonna check back again. But
Mhm.
that's also a form of a dumpling. Yeah, I like it. Let's see what else we got here. We got the sushi, we got the dumplings. Oh,
oh yeah.
here.
All right, getting
Yes.
back in the Mediterranean again.
Oh
Yes,
yes.
we
Ooh, the grape
are.
leaves.
Yes.
Mm.
You know what? I forgot what they're called, but these grape leaves are they can be wrapped either in like veggies or meat, like even like beef. And the flavors on this
Mhm.
was very unique. I was sold because they kind of look like one of the Filipino desserts. Um, what
It's
is it?
Lebanese. I didn't know it was Lebanese.
Yes, is it Lebanese? Or I went to
Mhm.
a Greek.
It's Mediterranean. I mean, for the most part, what I love about grape leaves, and so much. I love the garden. But and I had a vineyard, just a small little vineyard, but I made them, and they're really simple to make.
Really?
But the
Did
great
you?
thing yeah, because what? Why? This is what I love about this food so much, is like the history. But when you have a vineyard, you have to prune the leaves. You don't want too many
Yeah.
leaves on the vine because it'll shade out the grapes and they won't get as sweet. The sun makes the grapes
Ah,
sweet. So you got to think one day, somebody thousands of
yeah.
years ago, they're pruning their vineyard because they want sweeter grapes, and they've got a pile of leaves sitting there, and they're like, I wish we could do something with these leaves. And sure
Wow.
enough, that's what happens. And it's the same thing with like so much stuff. You talk about different wrap, like I think ayacas are really like what's the
Which one?
Mexican the wrap?
Oh, tamales?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
but anyway,
Another wrapped food.
Yes.
it's the same thing where you've kind of
The
got this
corn husk.
you have
Yes.
excess of something, and you're looking to make it functional, right?
Mhm.
Like, well, I hate to just throw all that away. So
Yeah.
why not go ahead and use it for something? And ayacas are the same thing as tamales, but they basically are wrapped in banana leaves.
Yeah.
So, but the great thing about this, of course, the great
Wait a
thing,
minute. So correct me. I thought tamales were corn husks.
right. But so you have corn husk tamales, and then ayacas are banana leaves.
Oh,
And
banana. Okay.
banana leaves,
Oh, yeah.
culturally, they
I
kind of
forgot.
spring from the same area because in the Caribbean, they got an excess of banana leaves. So
That's
they're using
right.
banana leaves where you get into,
Mhm.
the Yucatan and Mexico, like in that area, they've got an excess of corn, right? So
Yeah.
they're using the corn leaf. And here,
In Mediterranean, they have an excess of grape leaves, so they're using that.
exactly.
Need
So,
not waste not. There,
right.
that's
I love it. Wait, brother Jim, you got to enlighten me. So when you harvested or when you were pruning, right, the leaves for these
Uh-huh.
grape leaves, because this fascinates me.
Uh-huh.
And when you prepared it, do you have to? How did you prepare the leaves? Of course, do you have to soak
It's
them in a certain solution
Yeah,
or?
I actually, and it's been a while, but if I remember right, you put like a little vinegar and water and boil it, and maybe a
Ah,
little salt, and you blanch it. You blanch the leaves and pull them out, and then I would lay them out, flat, and then take my mix and just drop it in there and roll it
wow.
up, and it's really super simple.
Yeah,
And
that is super
just
simple.
like making lumpia, right? So you're just
Yeah.
doing it with the grape leaves.
Wow. And lumpia is another wrapped food, right? Oh,
Yeah.
you can't forget. See, look at this. You can put falafel in a wrap too.
Oh,
Ugh,
yeah.
yes, falafel, that
Mhm.
hummus. Oh,
Mm.
with
okay.
that
And
hummus.
that bread, I gotta say that's one of the things I miss most. Anytime I go to Nashville, in the Kurdish community, they have talk about wraps, and I forget what it's called, but it's a piece of bread that it's like really flat. It's like a tortilla, but you can wrap things up. And I have no idea what they put into it, but when you put it on a grill and just kind of heat it a little bit, it's got this perfect crisp
Oh,
to it.
crisp.
Yeah, it's
And you
really
can
crisp.
wrap it.
Yeah, and you wrap it, but I would get that, and get the bread, but everything just like that picture that really
It's
reminded
not
me.
naan, is it? Is it naan?
Well, it's like a naan, but it's like from
But it's got a crunch to it, right?
Kurdish bread. Yeah, they have the thicker one, which is great too. It like bubbles up and it has that little burnt edges. Oh, and it pops in your mouth. But this one is really flat. You could see through it almost. But
Oh, wow.
my favorite thing, like I would usually make it on around the holidays, like and stuff like that. I would bring it in, and we'd have turkey, right, and leftover turkey.
Oh, yummy.
Make
Brother Jim's turkey.
turkey with egg, make kind of like an omelet, and wrap it in there, and
Oh,
a little
man.
fettuccine
Oh,
cheese, and grill it on the.
Who's hungry over here?
I know.
my
You guys
gosh. It
got me.
sounds so good.
I gotta say, you caught me. I'm making crepes this morning.
Hey,
Are you really?
yeah, Yeah,
Crepe, y'all, that's wrapped.
that is total wrapped. And it was funny when I saw that, when I saw it's about wraps, and I was like, can I bring it in here? I almost did.
Yeah,
But
we would love to see that. Oh my
if you've never made crepes, I'll throw this out to our audience. They're so simple and so tasty. It's basically flour, eggs, butter, just a hint of salt. But then you can put anything you want in it. It's like, Luke likes the hazelnut spread.
Oh yes.
And Amore likes cream cheese and fruit. So I warm it up, put a little brown sugar on it. But yes,
Oh, those are so good. My only challenge when it comes to making crepes is the actual making crepes
I
because
know.
the timing and the as far as the thickness goes, sometimes it'll look like a pancake, and then sometimes it just looks like a crispy burnt.
The trick is, I kind of thought, it's gotta be runny, right? Because if
Okay.
it goes in looking like a pancake, you've got
It's
pancake.
too thick.
Believe me.
Okay. No, you have to like spread it out. So when I see them,
I got a great pan. I put a little butter in it, and I drop it in, and I just roll that pan a little bit, and it spreads it out, and I put it on there, and I can make a crepe about, like a normal size crepe. I don't know what the official crepe size is.
Oh gosh, if y'all are not hungry, you probably are hungry now too, right?
yeah,
I
look
noticed
at
that on
Lumpia.
oh goodness, lumpia. Lumpia
Mhm.
is like the all. Now, for those of you who are tuning in who are not, Filipino, lumpia is also like an egg roll, right? We have
Mhm.
our egg rolls, yum, and this can be anything too. It could be vegetable, it could be your choice of protein, it could be a mix.
It could
Oh,
be
and
banana.
oh, look at that. Ooh, that's right. You can even turn it into a dessert. Put some sugar in it and put some jackfruit and banana in there, plantain in there. And
Oof.
then you have oh goodness, my brain is kind of
Turon.
Toron. Yes.
So
I
good.
gotta say, over this summer, my wife finally discovered had help learn how to remove the bones from ladyfish. And ladyfish are these big fish that
Yeah,
we
they're
love,
huge.
but they have a lot of bones in them. So
Yep.
typically we would just kind of, it's like, oh, we try to do something with them, but then, we're like taking the bread and rice to get the bone out of our throat. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Well, she figured out how to do it, and she's been making ladyfish lumpia. It is my new favorite. It's so
Really?
You heard it here, guys.
crispy.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, the consistency, it's like meat. I mean, it's thick because she grinds it up and puts it in the food processor, puts all the seasoning in it. It is hands down my favorite lumpia of all.
Come more. I'll be calling
Oh
you
my
in a
wife
few
so
minutes. Go
much.
get that recipe.
It sounds delicious.
It does. Oh my goodness. Can you guys believe we really are indeed the fastest 30 minutes? Because here we
Yeah.
are, we're hungry. We're talking about all the wrap foods, and we're about to have to put a wrap on our wrap
I know.
segment, right?
Oh.
I will be calling Mr. Moore in just a few minutes, Brother Jim. I want to get that ladyfish
It's
lumpia recipe.
That
so
sounds so
wonderful.
good.
Yeah. Oh, before we go though, can we check out the chat? Did any of our viewers, do any of you know how to make that shopao?
Well,
Because
no one tuned in for. I've been keeping an eye on the chat. Everybody is for the most excited about our surprise with Brother Jim being on. Everybody.
yay!
Thank you,
excited about
everybody.
that.
Thank you.
Majority also agree. They love sushi. They love the gyros, dumplings, and Sister Annalisa has also said Brother Jim's turkey is the best.
Yes.
And she's asking if you can ship it to Kissimmee. But yes, everybody has been tuning in, and they're just so excited that they got to get a little treat and see Brother Jim this morning as well.
Well, thank you.
Oh, we love it.
Thank you all so much.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. For everyone tuning in, please stay tuned because up next we have our South Central states coming up. Well, y'all, we are down to the wire, down to the hour. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful Saturday. That's a wrap. Happy Saturday, y'all.
All right.
This is INCRadio, DZEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ, or